Hello guys, what is up Bears fans? Welcome to the Bears Huddle podcast, your UK take on all things Chicago Bears. Now look, we've got a lot of doom and gloom with the injuries at this moment in time. What is going on with Jaquan Brisker? What is going on with my boy Kyler Gordon? What is going on with Austin Booker? Now Austin Booker might return week 6 after the week 5 bye, which is good news. Austin Booker obviously was looking like a hell of a player in pre-season. He really genuinely was. Now, lots of injury news, obviously lots of worries around injury at this moment in time, and obviously the Micah Parsons trade, lots of things going on with that. We're going to talk in this video a little bit about that, but we're going to talk mainly about Coleston Loveland and the impact that he is having at the Bears and how he is already really not only having the Bears fans fall in love with him, but also getting players and coaches to think he is going to be one hell of an asset this season. I just want to kind of allay some fears a little bit, I think, just to start off with. We've talked a lot, obviously, about the injury to Austin Booker and obviously the concern there and the worry around that injury. And people talk about, we must get another defensive end. There's got to be someone, obviously, coming in, given the fact that, obviously, that means at this moment in time, we have only got Montez Sweat fit, Diarra Yingbo fit, Daniel Hardy fit, Dominique Robinson. There's question marks, but he's likely to return. Obviously, Austin Booker was seen as a big part of that rotation and won't be back until week 6, so we'll miss, those first 4 weeks of the season before obviously the week 5 bye comes at the right time for Austin Booker. I think it's still way too early in the schedule, but I think what you got to remember is that defensive line, to me, is still exceptionally strong and will still cause an awful lot of issues for the rest of the NFC North and for the rest of the teams we take on during this NFL season. Grady Jarrett, top NFL player. Yes, he probably hasn't got the same impact that he would have had in his younger years, but he's still going to have a major impact on that line this season. Andrew Billings, again, a player who we saw last season, as a starter. After he went down, there was a fall off in that production. Now Billings obviously is going to be like a swing defender. Really, he's probably not going to start, and will come in to look sort of spell the likes of Grady Jarrett and Gervon Dexter. Gervon Dexter's obviously bulked up. He looks a top player. He's shown real leadership this summer, and again, I think a player that will have a massive season and a massive impact. You've got obviously Shamar Turner on his way back as well. Yes, has had injuries, but Shamar Turner, big hopes for the Texas A&M guy that he will come in and make a major impact this season. Chris Williams as well. So I think with the defensive line as it is, perhaps that defensive end isn't as much of an issue as perhaps we do think it can be, and a lot of Bears fans think it could be. I think safety is a huge issue now. Obviously, with the unreliability of Jaquan Brisker, we don't know where he's going to be back, if he's going to be back. Kevin Byard, obviously, as well, not a long-term bet. Owens and Hicks, not really top quality. That secondary, like I said, is a major concern going into that Monday Night Football against the Vikings, and I still think that's a place that the Bears will need to address before that game at the start of September, that first Monday night of the season. Jalen Johnson unlikely to play. Obviously, Kyler Gordon unlikely to play. Jaquan Brisker unlikely to play. It really does massively weaken the secondary, and I do think the Bears and Ryan Poles do need to make some moves to strengthen in those areas. The running back room, again, another massive issue going into the season as well. So there is concerns and there is major worries there. But one player who has settled in absolutely superbly and has done a fantastic job is Coleston Loveland. Look, Coleston Loveland obviously missed a lot of the start of pre-season, obviously the off-season with obviously that recovery from that shoulder injury. He missed the Bears rookie camp. He missed a lot of mini camp. He missed a lot of the OTAs with his recovery, and was never obviously getting back to that situation where he could actually practice. But then obviously came back, training camp, started practicing, started actually being out on the field in the pads, taking contact and playing. Now, one thing that has been massively, extensively reported about this lad is that he has been phenomenal during pre-season, been phenomenal during the training camp as well, and has really developed an excellent relationship, an excellent understanding with Bears quarterback Caleb Williams, which obviously stands us in good stead for the upcoming season. This is a guy who I think could be lined up in the tight end, could be lined up even in the slot. He only had obviously 4 receptions, 38 yards, and was used sparingly. But I think it was a case of Put him out there. Yeah, he's the guy. Get him out. Get him out before he gets hurt. Get him out before anyone targets him. This is a guy who I think, could go on to have a massive, massive impact. And we're going to see a lot of Coleston Loveland and Cole Komet this coming season. There's going to be a lot of 12 personnel used, I think, this year. That's a big part of what Ben Johnson likes to use. We saw that with Sam Laporta, obviously. And the other guy's tight end, I can't remember now, the name escapes me, they're the Lions tight end. But, we saw a lot of 12 personnel in Detroit, and I think we're going to see a lot of 12 personnel. I think Coleston Loveland's going to have a big part to play this season. This could be a massive rookie season for the lad out of Michigan. This is a guy who can, has great catching ability, can run routes. Not only that, but has good blocking ability, and I think will bring a lot to this team. And like I said, the reports that we're getting about the understanding this boy is developing with Caleb within the offensive system, the positive comments coming out about him from Declan Doyle and obviously from Ben Johnson as well, all very positive, all good steps forward, and really proving that we did the right thing taking him where we did in the NFL draft as that first pick. An absolute superstar player. I think he will go on to be bigger than Tyler Warren definitely this season. He also apparently made the Bears fans and players fall in love with him at his introduction, where apparently during his induction he sang "Let Me Love You" by Mario, which went down exceptionally well with the players, and footage has been leaked apparently to Bears fans, and the Bears fans are loving it. It even made the papers over here in England. It was in the Daily Mail in England about Coleston Loveland. There is a lot of hype surrounding this boy. There really is. Like I said, it's made the papers over in England. It really has. He's looked the part in pre-season. His pass catchings look good. He's made several impressive plays during pre-season. He's a name that keeps on coming up time and time again. He's quarterback friendly. He's big. He's fast. He's polished in route running. He's advanced really, really quickly, probably quicker than a lot of Bears coaches and Bears insiders would have thought he would have done in pre-season. So this is a massive step forward, guys. And I think when you add him into the pass catching threats we've got with the likes of DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Olmide Zacchaeus, Luther Burden, and of course Cole Komet as well, I think this is a guy who's going to really help this offense and Caleb Williams take massive steps forward this coming season, guys. Big positive. Look, we've talked about a lot of negative, of course we have. And the Bears fans some of our Bears fans have got their knickers in a twist over this Micah Parsons trade. Look, I don't think you need to be as worried about this as you possibly can. Look on the side of this, that this could actually really affect the Packers in a negative way long term. There's a lot of salary cap is going to be tied up in Jordan Love and Micah Parsons. How do they build a team like that? Yes, initially, dealing with Roshan Gary and Micah Parsons will be a big problem, I think, this season. Obviously, the fact that Braxton Jones is pretty shit as a left tackle, who knows? But look, let's look on the positive. Coleston Loveland, great player, I think, going to come up in this season, have a huge season. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and let's always remember, guys, let's bear down.